So, all right, mic check 1, 2. We'll try this one again. Bo. Let's try it again, y'all. People wicked in the house. What up? You know all about that. Lorenzo is back. Who else do we have in the house? All right. Thumbs up if you can hear me good. Hey, perfect. So welcome to the BBOY and Bigger Dojo elite level training live over here at the BBOY Dojo Instagram. Today we have a special guest, Petri Rasanen, aka Lil P. Coach Rasanen, who is also a b-boy from the late 90s, but specialized in coaching people in different fields. During the last year also breakers in the physical side of training. He's the head coach of physical training of the breaking team Finland. So we're gonna get him live over here in a couple of minutes. We got Create in the house. What up, Create? Manila represent. Hat Solo in the house. 7 Up Praveen. We're gonna have a talk with Petri. I have a couple of questions I'm going to ask him just to give you guys some inspiration about what we've been doing over here in Helsinki and in Finland for the last year with the national team. And we'll be open for questions after we're done as well. Let's get Petri online. Yo. Mic check. Aha.
Hello,
Hey,
everybody.
what up, Petri? What's the deal?
What up? How are you, Jussi?
Doing very good over here. We just had an outside session with the Cypress Quad Breakers. Had a good sprint session at the park, uphill sprints. Some of the stuff that I learned from you, actually. How are you doing today?
Good. I'm doing good. Thank you.
Excellent.
Busy day, and it's nice to have honor to be your guest and talk about the
training. I really appreciate. So let's get right into it. Today we're going to expand on some of the discussions we had earlier about how we've been training over here during the last year with the breaking team Finland. And together with you and the rest of the coaching team, we have put up something pretty special. So hopefully we can open it up for the people who are following and get some inspiration for everybody who's training hard and wants to make it in competitions. Petri Rasanen,
yes.
Welcome. There's Jay. Yeah. Do you want to give a brief introduction from yourself? How did you get into breaking, and what is it that you do at the moment? I tried my best to do it already, but maybe you can explain it better.
Yeah, I try to keep it short, but I started breaking like 95, and then start touring with Bomb Funk MCs in 98, I think, with the rest of the guys. There was like people also in my crew, Savage Feet from the like Mikko Vortex, who's also part of the Flomo crew at the moment, and a few other guys, Isobete, Hypnotic, and Twister, Twist Animal, and I think it's the same story that you guys loved in hip hop culture in different all the aspects, and meet cool people and get involved with the culture, and it has been a very great experience, and it has took me in amazing places all around the world with the Bomb Funk MCs, and nowadays it also like I have my people who are working with, who I have the company Train for Warriors Helsinki, Elastin and Hat Solo. I also get to know through breaking, so it's very nice thing. And at the moment we have now, I think it's coming 8th year this year to our gym or dojo, like we say it, Training for Warriors Helsinki, and we teach strength and condition training for regular people and also nowadays in breakers athletes, which has been very nice because the Training for Warriors system background goes all like over 20 years ago, and it has started from the athletes. So it's kind of like the circular is ending in a way there. So
Full circle. Started with
cool.
breakers, back with breakers again.
Yeah, and I also had like short period that I didn't break, and I concentrate more about music. But then I started breaking again with you guys when I start training with you and had solo in the first times in, I think it was 2011 or something like that.
Something like this,
And
yes.
and now it's nice that I still go once a week in Saifa in Taya's class with my 8-year-old son. So it's very nice to keep up the good work.
That's pretty awesome, yes. People probably don't know over here, but when I was preparing for some of my biggest battles, such as the later Circle Kings and some of the exhibition battles, Petri was coaching me on the physical side to get in top shape of my life to handle some of the big stages. And now we're doing it together for the Breaking Team Finland, the national team, aiming for Paris 2024.
Yes, and that has been a great journey so far.
Yeah. So maybe you can tell next how was the last year's experience for you building the whole training program and basically the protocol of coaching B-boys on a high level?
It has been a great journey. I have learned a lot, and it has been nice to see how the whole system works in the sports side, like the Olympic Committee and Dance Sport Federation and Finnish Breaking Association and all that stuff, and it has been great also in that way because we are able to do something totally new with you guys that hasn't done ever before. Even that the breaking is an old art, it's a new sport, if you can say it that way. So it has been a great opportunity to do cool stuff.
Yeah.
And spread then like help people to be better.
Yes, indeed. That's been one of the most inspiring things about the last year is that if we create a structure now on how do we train and coach breakers on a high level, then maybe after Paris, after Los Angeles, that's something that still can be there after 5, 10, or even 20 years, like a foundation for high level coaching breaking in the country. So that's pretty awesome. What do you think is the difference when you train somebody as there's two sides to breaking, right? There's a cultural. Okay, mic check 1 2. So
Yeah.
how do you think is the difference between training somebody who's in it for the culture or somebody who's really aiming to perform at a high level competition like a world final stage or even the Olympics? What is the difference between these two for you as a coach?
Yeah, in a way, if you're training like as a like high level, I don't see in a way the difference that if you like to aim top, then you should train more or less the same way. But of course, that like when you go this athletic side, there's also certain ground rules which don't in a way apply when you are working in the culture side. So there's like I don't know, there's no like kind of like one answer, it depending about the person that which is like what he's aim for. I don't know what you think about that.
Yeah, I would say there's different kind of requirements for both of the fields.
Definitely. Yeah.
For cultural B-boy or B-girl, it's cool if you can do like one ill round and in a cipher and that's it. You can do the best solo of the night or even rock the whole night in a cipher with some dope foundation and groove. but at the same time, that same stuff maybe wouldn't take you to a world final or #1 place. There's different
Yeah,
requirements.
yeah,
You need
yeah,
stamina, you need strength, you need explosiveness, and things like this on a deeper level.
yeah,
So
that's true.
yes, indeed.
Yeah,
What do you think would be an ideal training program for high-level competitive b-boy or b-girl?
of course, the ideal thing that would be that you are able to like train twice a day, and then you're like, how do you say, in money wise, you don't have to work as much in regular job, so you can concentrate only in breaking and training, which gives you time also recover and enjoy kind of the journey. It doesn't mean that you can't do it if you go job or school or stuff like that, but then it's a totally different game. You have to take care of or consider more about different kind of stuff that you're not like overdoing it and then it coming like turning against you. So I think the ideal would be that you can only concentrate in training, breaking, and then just enjoy the journey.
Yes, yes. Sometimes life gets on the way. In a perfect
Yeah,
world, in an ideal situation, this would be it.
yeah,
And if you say in a perfect world, you would train 2 times a day, how many
yeah,
days would you train in a week, and how would you divide these two? You probably wouldn't do the same kind of session 2 times in the day. You would do something different, right?
yeah, yeah. And like morning time and evening time, and then you have good time to like eat well and recover from the last training. And then of course the training type is a little bit different, that you could have like technical like training in breaking side in morning, and then more heavier strength and conditioning in like evening and stuff like that. And then of course what I have learned from my coach Martin Rooney, that the first thing you should do, just your like recovery days, that you have 2 days every week. And it doesn't mean that you're like laying on a couch and watching Netflix, which is always also okay once in a while, but you can do like more like recovery walking and swimming and stuff like that. Be active, but two like recovery days will like me. That would be the first thing, and then check it out the rest of the training regarding your what kind of schedule you have.
Yeah, Carl Lendra is saying professional ballet dancers trains like this as well. So
Yeah,
most likely professionals from pretty much all fields. And that's a great point, that a recovery day doesn't mean you're fully resting or relaxing the whole day. You can do activities that help you recover from the
yeah,
heavier training too. That's pretty revolutionary for a lot of b-boys. First of all, breakers don't know how to rest enough sometimes, and also how to recover effectively is another aspect to it too.
yeah.
What kind of tools do you think that high-level training requires?
You mean in like actual tools, like equipment side, or
Equipment, and also what kind of exercises or what kind of supportive training would you recommend for breakers if they want to aim
mm,
up?
uh, strength and conditioning, that you have like the if it would go like perfect way, then you would have like 2 strength days, like pure strength days, and then you have like 1 or 2 conditioning day, like 3 to 4 strength and conditioning days, and then rest of the like, then depending your like schedule, then there would be like 5 breaking session also, maybe something like that. And then in an equipment wise, you don't in a way, it's a tricky question, because like the sky's is the limit in a way. The more you have, the more you can use, but it's not, some point it less is more, like kettlebell, barbell, stuff like that. The basic stuff, nothing fancy, basic stuff, and that will do the work.
So let's go deeper on that one. You said 2 strength days in a week would be optimal.
Yeah.
So 2
But
to 3.
of course, this is like, it's not, again, it depending that if I'm coaching you or if I'm coaching somebody else, it can be totally different. It can be that I would say, okay, Jussi, we have like 1 strength day, and then we have 1 like different kind of day, like conditioning day. And then the rest of your, like, you're more concentrate about the breaking side and technical side. That could work for you. It's also kind of that what I have learned in this year, that I have been able to work with 10 different person, 10 different like breakers, that they all have unique requirements. Is it, if it's the correct word?
Different needs and requirements.
What works, like, let's say what works in hot solo doesn't work somebody else. So for me as a coach, I have to like learn that which is the good formula for you, and that's something I think the most thing that you need the coach to do. Of course, if you are able to do it by yourself, then it's good. But it's more or less that you test it and then you see how it goes.
That's also pretty new aspect when it comes to breakers, that you need a coach in order to get to a proper shape. How would you define, or what would you regard as a conditioning session? You would divide this between strength and conditioning. Can you elaborate a little bit about?
Yeah, in breaking team Finland, we have done like many different training for warriors exercises that we have like adapt them in the breaking. We have like training for warriors has this hurricane method. We have break hurricane, which we have like the regular hurricane has like some form of sprinting and then do exercise, and then we do these certain sets. But we have changed it that we do 6-step, 10 seconds of 6-step, and then 2 exercise. So we have changed the sprinting as a 6-step, and then we have already like we tested different kind of way already 2011 with you and hat solo and we also tested that 20 seconds 6-step isn't the good thing, because it doesn't change the training a totally different way. That we want to be as fast as possible. So 10 seconds 6-step is then more effective than try to do 20 seconds as fast as possible. It's the same that if you're sprinting, you should take that kind of like length that you are able to sprint as fast as possible. 400 meters wouldn't be the good one in a way, if that makes sense. Then we have done like little different kind of circuit training, break circuit. We have 5 points or 5 sets. One of the sets are like breaking in like just basic top rocks and footworks. And then we have also Train for Warriors Atomic 20, where you have 2 10-minute sets, 3 different kind of exercises in the sets. There we don't have any kind of breaking. We have like 3 exercise, and then we change it. But in that exercise, time-wise, it's like mimic the battle. Like if we're talking about that, approximately the 1 round is more or less 30 seconds. So then if I go, I do the 30 seconds, and you go, I have 30 seconds time to rest. So that one mimics that we have like approximately 30 seconds working time, 30 seconds resting time. And the same thing is also in the circuit. And the circuit training we have used also that we have done longer like length, like 1 minute round, but easier pace. So then we can like, it works when we have the off season, especially. And then when we go more to the competition like period, then we change it, the times that they are like mimicking the actual battle. So then it will help and try to make that the reason that the conditioning training and the strength training is good that it's it's the same, that the Training for Warriors method has like it was originally for UFC like MMA fighters, but it's the like safer way to train the conditioning side. And then of course in breaking, that you in regular practice you don't go that those kind of places that you can go in conditioning training, that you will get your heart rate totally different, challenge you totally different way, but it's still safe because the exercise have like picked that they are like good for you and it's safe to do, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
but you have like experience of that, so you can say it also in your side.
Absolutely, and I would say that one of the most important things is bringing your conditioning training to a pretty much closer to the breaking's work-rest ratio in a way of a balance. There's a lot of people who have a problem that when they get into conditioning and strength, they might lift really heavy in the gym, but does it really make them a better breaker in that way? Does that strength condition transform into their breaking? Does that make them go for longer and more rounds in a battle or not? You might go jogging for 2 hours, but does it really make you a better breaker? So being smart about conditioning and strength training is very, very important. It has to make you better, not more bulky.
That's like I think in all aspect of training, that just like monitoring that if it doesn't work, if it doesn't do you better, then you shouldn't do it. You have to change something and see what could be the better way. And there's lots of like ways that you can like do this, like time wise thing, that you have 30 seconds or however you want to twist it, but you can do it with the treadmill or rowing machine or just jump rope and or stuff like that. So just sky's the limit and use your imagination. So it doesn't mean that you don't have this or that, then I can do anything. So
yes, indeed. So yeah, you mentioned a couple of tools. You mentioned the atomic training from TFW. You mentioned the hurricane training. But another aspect is about how would you structure a whole year, for example? If you have a couple of big competition, how would you train the same way throughout the whole year, or how would you structure your training periods before?
Like you would pick your like most important battles, and then those would be your like that you will see that like January to December, and then you will put them there like, okay, I have this in, let's say like the European champions are like in summertime and the world champions are somewhere in fall. This year they were in December, but I think next year they will be a little bit earlier. I don't know, just a guess. But then those would be, let's say that those are my like that I'm aiming those. So then I would like build up my training, that I do more off-season training in beginning, and then I would change it like for speed and strength and more speed training and that kind of stuff. So it will, I use like 4 weeks like periods.
That's right.
That
Yeah.
like period that like after 4 weeks we will change it. That it might be the same kind of thing, but after 4 weeks we at least we change the program a little bit, and then if it's totally different, like how you say period phase, then we would also change the like what we will do inside of the training also.
Yes, indeed. To aim for that peak in the competition, the moments that mean the most.
Yeah.
You can't
more
be
lighter working when we go in the and then of course I think the good like important thing is that after you have your like big competitions, then you should also have like certain time that you call like off season, that you have this kind of overgoing season, if I don't know if it's the correct word in English, but you have like few weeks that you will take easy and then you start again, build up, and build up for the next set camp.
We learned this the hard way. We try to battle every single weekend. 52 competitions in a year, and after the first boy,
of course, that's also possible. But then you have to accept that you are not always in your best, in a way, kind of, that there are parts that it doesn't go that well, that it could go, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't go well, if kind of. But that's just thing that if you have done this kind of, like, that you have somebody has coached you through certain like phase and certain like, then you would know how it feels. It's kind of that you will, because you have done it. So yeah, it's hard to explain.
If you want to find your peak in the best moment and best competition that you that means the most to you, then be smart about how you structure your year, and maybe do a couple of preparation competitions before it, but really aim for that moment that is the most significant in the whole year.
And like you say, the preparatory competitions are also very important, because they are like building up your self-confidence, that you are like because it's very important that when you go, you know that I will kill it.
Yeah, absolutely. How about a person who doesn't have a coach? What kind of advice would you have for a person who doesn't have the luxury of having you or me or anybody else to coach them?
I think there's lots of like web coaching programs at the moment, like BBOY Dojo, which is very, very, very excellent about that. And then I think the most important thing is to like test different kind of stuff and different kind of approach, that what works for you. And you can also learn a lot without coach, but it helps you through the way, and it gives you more like options and knowledge, of course. But like when I have started breaking, it was like more or less like it's totally different game than nowadays. You have every possibility, and all the coaches who know actually how to do the stuff. That for us, we have to order the VHS from Germany to see what Storm is doing, and then we try to like check it out. Okay, now he's putting the hand there. Okay, let's try that one. So, but it works.
Indeed.
Of course, nowadays it's easier and more like so. But I think that an internet is like full of stuff. The only thing is that you have to find the good stuff for you, and but you test it, and then you see what works and what's not. I don't know. But if you have like possibility to at least have coach for a while, then I just suggest that you will do it and test it and see how it works, and then you would also know stuff that you can use later on.
Absolutely. You learn something from a coach, like the stuff that I learned from you a decade ago, I'm still using today with my students at the park, for example.
Yeah.
And of course, you cannot expect different results if you always do the same thing again and again, like Albert Einstein said. So be open for new things.
Yeah, and then there's lots of like training camps and stuff like that. So you can also learn stuff like, and I think now when the breaking for Olympics is developing, there will be more that kind of stuff. So then just like check it out, and if you have found something cool, then just go there and take the knowledge and use it.
Exactly. All right. Do you have any other sources of information if somebody wants to get more deeper into physical training, physical coaching, or strength, speed, and stamina?
If you have if you have local training for warriors dojo or gym, I would recommend to check it out, that one. Then of course, like I said, B-Boy, B-Girl Dojo is the good one. Then there's this heads for, I can't remember what's the, but you know what I mean. The new one.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
We can remember the exact address over here, but Heads Coach Way in then we can find it over there too. I think they're based in Germany. Excellent.
Yeah, they have good stuff. I have check it out and hopefully more and more it will come, and maybe we will also start putting something online too, and maybe also have some program in the dojo in this topic. If we follow it, yeah.
Somebody was asking already over here that can we upload some kind of exercises or workouts that people could do in their own practice if they don't have a
actually one they can already found. It's if they in YouTube, I think there is still the break hurricane, which we did it already original. So if you go YouTube and search B-Boy Hurricane, I think the name was that. So B-Boy Hurricane, then you'll find when the video that Juste and Cholo is rocking the show. So
I think that's under Cypher's YouTube account, and that was
I think it's under Training for TFB Helsinki's YouTube channel too.
Yeah. So yes, indeed, give it a try. Try the Break Hurricane if you want to up your game in your physical training. If there's any other questions that people have over here, you can post them in the chat below. Get it straight from the source from Petri if you want to take your training to another level. Let me see what we have in the chat. Shout out for the audience. We have an international, global audience today, all around the planet. But yeah, I guess no other questions over here too this time. So thank you very much, Petri, for joining today. A lot of value.
Thank you. And thank you for everybody who came to listen. And hopefully we can have another one and share the information and each one teach one.
Exactly. Yes. I'm going to rock a live talk next Monday, a live masterclass about the 14-day program that we've been working with right now. And people can get to join that one, of course. Stay tuned for our social media platforms. And where do we find Petri and everybody else? At Coach Rasanen in Instagram.
Yeah. And I try to also start publish some stuff in this topic there too in this year. So stay tuned.
Yes, indeed. At TFW Helsinki, follow what the Training for Warriors is about over here in Finland.
Yeah, and then in local, in worldwide, you can trainingforwarriors.com. There, I think they have the locations also, so you can check it out there.
Yeah, maybe you have a local gym over here that you can. And Arok is posting the link to the Heads training method over here. www.he4ds.com. Heads.
Thank you, Manageri.
Yeah, shout out to General Manager Alexi over here. Cool. All right, I guess we're done. Thank you so much, Petri. Have a wonderful
Thank you, Jussi. Have a great day and
see
hopefully see you guys soon.
All right.
Yeah.
Peace.
Bye.
Oh, yeah.